Hello everyone, Rachael here. Welcome to episode number 35 of the Ditch the Diet podcast. So in today's show, I'm going to share with you a video that I recorded, or the audio from a video that I recorded 2 years ago, almost to the day. It popped up on the Facebook memories thing that you get every day when you log in. It popped up on that, and it reminded me of just how good a message it was behind the video, if you don't mind me saying so myself. And it answers a question that I'm getting asked almost on a daily basis at the moment regarding motivation. So I recorded this video at a time in my life where I was going through a pretty bad breakup and had lost a lot of motivation for pretty much everything. And I was finding my motivation again. And I thought, what better a time than now to share this video audio with you, for those of you out there who are maybe struggling to get your motivation back after maybe having, struggling with a massive life event, or perhaps you just can't get motivated. So whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, I think you will find this very, very useful. So like I said, this audio is from a video from a couple of years ago, so the quality of the audio might not be perfect, but it's worth a listen. It's a nice short one, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll be back at the end to tell you how you can get in touch with me if you would like some extra help and extra motivation from me as your coach. Over and out for now, enjoy the audio, and I'll be back at the end.
Hey guys, it's Rachael here at Walk the Talk Fitness and Cut the Crap UK. Welcome back to Facebook Live with me. I haven't been on Facebook Live for absolutely ages because basically I suppose you could say I lost motivation. Big time lost motivation. I had quite a lot going on. I got quite unwell for quite a while, and then everything just sort of spiraled out of control. It got to the point a couple of weeks ago where I couldn't even really be arsed getting out of my bed, and I stopped doing everything. So I stopped making posts on Facebook, I stopped replying to emails, I stopped answering Facebook messages. I just literally couldn't face doing anything. And then when I came out the other side of it, at sort of the end of last week, I would say probably Friday last week was the day where I came out the other end of it, and I started to realise that I just started to think, what are the options here? Do I carry on doing what I'm doing and burning everything to the ground, or do I start to imagine how good I'll feel when it all blows over, and start imagining how it would feel if I didn't. So I posted in the free Facebook group that I have at the beginning of the week, it might have actually been over the weekend, and just kind of asked everyone what they were struggling with the most. And one of the main things that came up was that people were struggling with motivation, and losing motivation and not being able to get it back again. So that is kind of the topic that I wanted to cover today. I haven't really got any specific notes or anything really to cover, and I'm outdoors, so I'm out at the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, and it's fucking gorgeous out here. It's 30 degrees. I can't believe it. This time last week it was about 3 degrees. So I want to give you my ad lib, totally off the cuff, 5-step process to getting your motivation back. I'm sitting on a log at the moment that's a bit achieving. So number one is, like I said when I was trying to get my motivation back last week, is to imagine how good you will feel if you achieve what you want to achieve. So actually to visualise how good you will feel when you achieve it. So not a case of if you achieve it, but when. So you'll all have goals. I'm sure you have goals, because if you don't have any specific goals, then how are you going to get motivated? So I suppose before that you have to know what it is that you want to achieve, and then actually start to imagine yourself as though you have already achieved it. So rather than thinking about all the things that you have to do in order to achieve it, actually start to think about how you would feel if and when you actually achieve what you want to achieve. So on the other hand of that, it's also a good idea to think, to start imagining and thinking about how you're going to feel if you don't achieve what you want to achieve. So if you stay feeling how you're feeling at the moment, demotivated, sort of struggling to get back on track, how are you going to feel maybe say like 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 years from now if you don't get out of how you're feeling? So start reflecting on what it is that you don't want, and move away from that, at the same time as imagining, starting to visualise yourself in the place that you want to be, and how to move towards that. So that's, have a goal, number one, part 1A. Part 1B is to start imagining how good it's going to feel and how you'll feel if and when you get there, or not if, but when you get there. So imagine yourself, actually start to think and imagine yourself being at the place where you want to be, and how good you will feel. So that's number one. Number two is to actually stop relying on willpower alone to get you there. A lot of people think that they don't achieve their goals and that they lose motivation because they don't have enough willpower. And actually that's not true. So I speak about willpower quite a lot, because it's something that we beat ourselves up about if we don't have, or we think we don't have enough of, or that we can't use it. And you have to remember that willpower is a little bit like an elastic band, and there's only so far that you can stretch that elastic band before it's going to break. So if you're relying on willpower alone, then it's not going to be enough to get you to where you want to be, because that elastic band is going to keep stretching and stretching and stretching until one day it just snaps and you end up going back to that really bad place, feeling like you've lost motivation again, just because you have you've lost, you haven't stuck to what you said you were going to do, and that willpower has let you down, when in reality, yes, willpower has let you down, because again, willpower is like a muscle. The longer that you work it, the stronger it gets. But at some point, that elastic band of willpower, it doesn't matter how strong that elastic band is, no matter if it's the strongest fucking elastic band in the world, if you keep stretching it, it is going to snap. And I know a lot of coaches have different opinions on this, and that a lot of people believe that willpower can be the only factor in getting to where you want to be, but I don't believe that, because I've fucked up millions of times and I've felt demotivated loads of times, and it's not because of lack of willpower. So a couple of things that you can sort of put into play along with willpower is, I think, telling people what you're going to do and making it public is really important. So I will always sort of tell people what it is that I'm going to achieve. So if I'm planning on doing something, or if I have a goal, I will make it public, and that will help me to stick to it. So maybe not even public, but even just having someone to hold you accountable is really important. So that can be like your partner, your best friend, or people from the gym, even people in the body confidence group. Like, partner up with someone and hold them accountable. So stop relying on willpower alone. Tell people, make it public, decide what you're going to do and tell people about it. Sort of record your journey. Your social media is amazing nowadays. Like, create a page, use Instagram to post photos to keep you motivated, But I think one of the main things is to actually have someone to hold you accountable for it, and actually not just to tell someone to hold you accountable, but for someone that will actually check in on you, and that will actually like ask you how you're getting on. So I'm just distracted by this really gorgeous barge that's just coming down the canal. It's fucking stunning. Don't know if you can see it. Really nice. Hi Kate, Lindsay, Lisa, Anne, and whoever else is watching. So that's my first two. Number 3 is, and again this is my opinion, you might have another opinion, but I think having a role model is really important as well. So pick someone who already has what you want. So think about your goal. Think about, is there anyone out there who inspires me, and anyone out there that already has what I want? Follow them, read about them, know their story, read their story, listen to what they do, have a look at what their daily habits are, weekly habits, where do they train, how do they exercise, how do they eat, who coaches them, where do they learn from, where's their inspiration from. Have someone that inspires you, that already has and is already doing what you want to do. And study them, like stalk them, read what they do, take their advice, download all their free shit. If it's someone that's like famous, like for me, I've got a few people that inspire me, like in the CrossFit community, like in person. I think I might actually be burning here. I've got sunscreen on though. In the CrossFit community, like I've quite a few people who inspire me, and I always, things like Instagram, looking at what workouts they're doing. It just sort of like inspires me to make a bit more of a change, and probably do a bit more than what I would do if I didn't look up to that person. So that is number 3, I think. Yeah, number 3. So number 4 is to actually set small and manageable goals, rather than thinking about something that you want that is so far away from right now, that's like such a big goal that it's going to take you forever to actually achieve it. It sort of already sets you up for failure in your head, because your brain is going, oh, that's too much, I will never achieve that. So you just don't even start. So if you have a really big goal, like say you want to do an Ironman, for example, right? There was an Ironman competition actually just over there last Sunday. So say you have a massive goal, like you want to do an Ironman, right? That's huge. Your brain can't compute it. I'm sitting here thinking, how the hell am I going to swim for 2.3 miles or whatever it is, cycle for 113 and then run a marathon? Like, there's no way. I'm going to break it down into smaller goals, right? When do I want to do it? Maybe 2 years time. How am I going to start to learn how to swim? How am I going to start to learn how to cycle? Do I start by running 20 miles and see if I can do it? No, I'm going to run for a mile this week, 2 miles next week, 3 miles in 3 weeks time, blah blah blah. So think about what your big goal is and then cut it down into smaller chunks so that your brain can more easily compute it and it seems more achievable, so you don't end up making up all those stories in your head about why you can't do it, or if you don't have time and start to make excuses, and before you know it, that goal is so far away that you don't even bother getting started. So just to recap, think about what your big goal is, then cut it down into smaller chunks, set them with a time scale, give yourself a deadline for each one, make them measurable, so make sure you're measuring how you're going to get there, and then go ahead and do it. Last one, number 5, is, and this is pretty obvious, like you have to make sure that you actually want to achieve, like what you say you're going to achieve, because like I meet so many people and like speak to so many people like all the time that tell me that they want something, and this goes for clients as well. Like, I'm not calling anybody out, and there's not really anybody in particular at the moment, but there have been a few people in the past that, you know, they say I want this, I want that, I want that, and like proper fired up, but they don't really want it, because 5 minutes later they're out partying with their friends, you know, tanking 2 bottles of wine a night. Like, food diary doesn't reflect what they want, and it's like, well, do you actually want what you said that you want? Like, is it really what you want, or is it what somebody else wants you to want? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you actually want it? Because I will tell you from personal experience, right? If you want something badly enough, you will do whatever it takes to get it. Like, whatever it takes. And yeah, there are going to be days where you feel like you cannot be arsed. Butterfly. There are going to be days where you cannot be fucked going to the gym. You do not want to prepare your food. You want to have a glass of wine, or a bottle of wine, 2 bottles of wine. But in reality, the people who actually... poor doggy out in this weather. Bloody roasting. The people who actually achieve what they want to achieve, they achieve it because they really want to do it. So don't force yourself to try and achieve goals that you don't really want, because you're wasting your time, you're wasting other people's time, and you're going to make yourself feel even less motivated if you're working towards a goal that you don't really want. So I guarantee that if you want something badly enough, you will find the motivation, you will do what it takes, like every single day, day in, day out, consistently for a long time. You will do it. You will find ways to do it, you will find people to help you, you will find motivation, you'll set goals, you'll find inspiration, you'll ask for help, and you will just go out there and do it. So let's see some goals. I know there's not very many people watching live just now, but I'm going to make sure that this video gets seen loads. So let's see some of your goals. Post below, like, have a think about it, let me know what you think about the video, and hopefully it's giving you some motivation to, you know, have a think about what it is that you really want, and to go out there and get it. Yes, there are going to be times where you feel like shit and that you feel demotivated, but you just have to remember that these are going to happen, and it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that, you know, you're never going to get back out of that, and you might need some help. You might need to reach out and actually ask someone for help, and that's absolutely okay. So if that person is me, then cool, please reach out and ask me for help. Otherwise, you know, good luck with everything. Let me know if you have any questions, and yeah, I'm going to go and walk home now because I am absolutely boiling out here. Not complaining, bloody love it. But yeah, have a great day, enjoy the rest of the sunshine and the summer that we're having today, because apparently it's not to last very long. And I will catch you soon.
Thank you very much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it was quite an old audio clip and I was outside at the time, so the sound quality wasn't perfect. But I hope you enjoyed those lovely motivational tips and that you find them useful enough so that you can use them in your own life and whichever goals that you have. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget there are 34 previous episodes for you to get your teeth into. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast, because that is the best way to make sure you don't miss out on any future episodes. You should be able to subscribe on whichever method you're using to listen to the podcast. On iTunes, there is a subscribe button, same for Spotify and everywhere else. So please do that. I really, really appreciate it. And if you found this useful, I'd love it if you could share it with someone as well. So please do share this episode of the podcast and share the podcast with your friends. I'm trying really hard to grow the podcast at the moment, so I would appreciate your support. Thank you again for listening. My name is Rachael. This is the Ditch the Diet podcast, and until next week, it's over and out from me. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.